Hi guys, this is the Roman Thinker, and welcome to another video, another unscripted video. I'm filming inside the car because even though it's a beautiful day, it's really windy, and I don't think the camera will pick up my voice because it's an old camera. So yeah, that's why I'm filming in the car, and I'm not sponsored by Suzuki. You know, although if they do want to sponsor me, then get in touch. But this video is a bit of an unscripted one about social media and why I got rid of it. And if you're thinking about getting rid of it, or you have been for a while, this video is probably for you. Um, but it started with short form content, and I realised it was making me a bit depressed, um, in a way. Especially short form content. I'm talking about social media in general, but especially short form content made me slightly depressed. Um, because you're sort of seeing the most beautiful place. So you go on it, and you all within the space of an hour, you're seeing the most beautiful places. You're hearing the most amazing songs that have been, performed. You're seeing the most creative art, and it's sort of it hits you in like an hour, whereas it would take someone a lifetime to see all those things, and you sort of see it all, and you think, oh, could I do that? And you start to think you can't do it. No, I'll never get to go to them places, or I'll never get to write that song, or I'll never get to read that. You get the picture, and it's just simply not true. And I found that out when I got rid of it. Your creativity came back, um, so it makes you feel like nothing you do matters because you're hit with all this comparison. And as the saying goes, comparison is the thief of joy, and it definitely rings true. I mean, it used to be before social media that you'd have a circle of a small number of people, so you'd know what's going on in their lives, and you'd talk to each other. And now with social media, and especially short form content, you you're hit with millions of people, hundreds of millions of people. And as fascinating as our brains are, we're not designed. The brain isn't designed to process that. Um, so yeah, it sort of leaves you with this feeling that you don't feel accomplished. You sort of see these things of, like, I want to set up let's say for example, a game room. You're hit with all these tour my game room with me and all this lot, or let's write a song, or let's do this, and they're like amazing songs or amazing game rooms and amazing things, when really, that's like one out of hundreds or millions or hundreds of millions of people trying to do that and put it on YouTube or stuff. And it does make you feel like you're not accomplishing stuff, when, like I said a minute ago, it's just simply not true. And when you get rid of it and your boredom comes back, that's when your creativity comes out, and you get to do stuff that you always wanted to do, rather than watching people do it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have even made these videos before. I'd have thought, oh no, I can't make a video and put it on YouTube, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm not making them for money or anything like that. I'm making them because I want to make them. I want to make these YouTube videos and put them out there. So that's one point really why I got rid of it. And if you're feeling like that, then definitely get rid of it, because that's short form content on a good day, seeing stuff like that, beautiful places or music and stuff. But on a bad day, or a bad few videos, it's stuff that's either immoral or designed to make you angry. And you know, they're not daft. These corporations, they profit off making you angry. They you know, the more angry people get and the more consumed they get with things like, you know, politics or anything really, the more money they're going to make. And you know, all you're doing is giving your time to that and your anger and energy to that, and it's just such a waste, you know. And I used to do that. You know, I'd look at stuff and it'd consume me. It'd stay in either you'd watch a video and go, oh, that's really annoyed me, that, and it'd stick with you for either, you know, 3 hours or 3 days or however long, and it's just not worth it. It's really not. And when you delete it and take a step back, you start to see how effective it is. You know, you start to see other people getting so annoyed, and you think, God, that used to be me that I'd get annoyed with stuff like that. And a lot of it you can't control. A lot of these matters, as you know, as horrible as they are, you can't control, and it's a waste of your energy and your mind to be consumed with it. And they're not, like I say, they're not daft. These corporations, they know what to do and how to divide people and how to, you know, make profit off your emotions, let's say. So yeah, I got rid of it, and a lot of that disappeared. In a cliche way, I sort of found myself again after getting rid of it. I sort of, you know, I wasn't concentrating on stuff that I couldn't control. I was concentrating on stuff that I enjoyed doing, and I felt more present. You know, I felt more in the moment, and I felt more bored, and I was okay with being bored. And I'm not saying this to like brag. I'm saying this is what happened when I got rid of it. It was an effect that came. Like my creativity came back, and it will do for you. You know, it's rather than, like I say, watching people do it. You can do stuff yourself, and you do it without subconsciously comparing yourself. So what I mean is, you don't watch a video of someone cooking something perfectly and then go, I'm going to do that, and then go, oh, it wasn't as perfect as that. You stop. Your creativity comes back, but you stop comparing yourself. You just think, I'm gonna make that video. You know, I'm not bothered about how far it reaches or the audience it reaches, or, you know, I'm making it because I want to, or I'm writing that song because I want to. You know, it's not about comparing. And it's like an addiction, but it's a hard addiction to break. And I don't think it's understood how difficult it is to break the addiction of social media. It's almost like gambling. Now, I'm not a gambling addict, I never have been really involved in gambling, but similar how you pull down or swipe on a slot machine, you're doing it on videos. You know, you watch a video and go, oh, that was a really good, quick video. Is the next one going to be better? Is the next one going to be better? Is the next one going to be better? And it's hard to break that addiction. And I decided to go cold turkey with it. I just got rid of it. And a lot of the time, cold turkey doesn't work with addictions. You know, people know that. Society knows that. But it can work, and it worked for me this time. I got rid of it, and I don't miss it. The grey area for me is probably YouTube, because YouTube has long form content and short form content, and I've found a lot of information on YouTube to be really beneficial to me. It's helped me with a lot of a lot of projects or tips, or if I need help with a DIY thing or something to do with the car. That's been brilliant, and I do enjoy watching long form content. You know, if it's something I enjoy. But you've also got YouTube Shorts with YouTube, and if you've got the willpower, If if you've got the control to not push that button, brilliant. But a lot of people don't, and actually I'd probably delete YouTube as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at really. So if you're thinking about getting rid of it, just do it. My mental health increased dramatically. I'm talking like personally, but it was massive for me. And obviously, I made a video about the dumb phone last week, so the two go hand in hand really. My mental health's increased massively, and I sort of look at this early 2000s as like the internet was a place. It was like you logged on to the internet and it was like a place, and then you logged off. And whereas now everything is so connected, everyone's on connected all the time. Everyone's so angry all the time. You have a conversation with someone, and more often than not, it turns into some debate about something. And it's just tiring. It's tiring, and it's pushed online as well. All this stuff. One thing I did notice is that children are especially affected with this. What I mean by this is, I work with someone and they bring their child in before they go to school. Then they go to school, and we all have conversations and stuff. And this child is like so engrossed in these like TikToks or whatever that you'd say their name, and then you'd say it louder, and then other people would say their name, and it'd be oblivious. It was like it was like they were completely locked in, like zoned in on this thing. And it's disheartening and a bit scary really, because I know adults do it, but like children, and that's one child. How many millions of children are doing it? And what even are they watching really? If that's your child, it's unprecedented what they're watching. It's not controlled. It could be anything from a cartoon to horrible stuff that happens in the world, unfortunately. So yeah, I noticed it with children as well. But yeah, if you want to get rid, just get rid. Like I've noticed the power of boredom is great, and you will do things that you've always wanted to do without watching people do it. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that with you. And if you decide to do it, brilliant. If not, chances are this might only reach a small audience, and it might be a smaller audience than I think that are actually affected by it. But if this video helps you, then I'm all for it. So you've been watching The Roman Thinker on social media and getting rid of it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.